Today, I would like to talk about the Revenge of the Sith novelization. Oh, I'm sorry, not this Revenge of the Sith novelization. This Revenge of the Sith novelization. The one for children. Chances are, if you were an English-speaking human child, anytime within the past 80 years, you are familiar with Little Golden Books. This is a series of children's books known for their golden spines and for their simplistic adventure stories that feature cute animals and often teach a moral lesson. Little Golden Books have been around since 1942 and were originally published by Simon & Schuster and are currently published by Penguin Random House. Their most popular book, The Pokey Little Puppy, is actually the #1 best-selling children's book of all time in the United States. But perhaps your childhood favorite was Scuffy the Tugboat, or The Little Red Caboose, or The Tawny Scrawny Lion, or The Little Red Hen. The Little Red Hen still stresses me out when I think about it. But apparently, Little Golden Books has branched out since I was a kid. These are just two of many Star Wars-related books. Every single one of the movies, including the sequel trilogy, was published as a Little Golden Book. Revenge of the Sith was published in July 2015 and is intended for children ages 2 to 5. I picked this one because the original story contains the most murder, and I wanted to see how they would present that to children. Were they just like, Count Dooku went to go live on the farm, and then all the younglings came to join him. I Am a Sith was published in July of 2016 and is part of a series of books like I Am a Jedi, I Am a Droid, I Am a Wookiee, and so on. When I first saw these, I thought that they were Little Golden Books parodies published by somebody like Quirk Books in Philadelphia. They published William Shakespeare's Star Wars, so it was possible, but nope, I checked and these are legit. When I'm done with this video, I'll be giving these books to my friends with 2 young sons, and I think one of those kids will be way more interested in learning about the Sith than the other one, and that's the child we're all keeping an eye on. I thought it would be interesting to examine these books for the first time together in this format. I actually have not looked at them yet, so I have no idea how this is going to go. I already regret this. All right, Revenge of the Sith, here we go. I gotta crack the spine. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I'm already laughing just at the illustrations. Look at this illustration of Anakin and Obi-Wan. I don't know why it makes me laugh, but it does. War rages between the Separatist Army and the Galactic Republic. Evil General Grievous and his droid army have just captured Chancellor Palpatine, leader of the Galactic Senate. Oh, there was an exclamation point after that, and I didn't read it with that in mind. The brave Jedi Knights, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, blast off in their starfighters to rescue him. With the help of their astromech droid, R2-D2, Anakin and Obi-Wan evade the Separatist vulture droids and land on General Grievous's flagship. This is a boring note, but they made an interesting grammatical choice. I would have just put an apostrophe, a possessive plural apostrophe after the S in Grievous, but they actually used a possessive apostrophe S. So it's Grievous's with the extra S. So that's interesting to me and probably very boring to you. Obi-Wan and Anakin find the Chancellor and the Separatist leader, Count Dooku. Whoosh! Oh, that actually is the voo at the beginning. Yeah, that does get a good lightsaber sound. Whoosh! Dooku attacks with his crimson lightsaber. Obi-Wan is knocked aside, but Anakin defeats Dooku on his own. So they don't mention that he defeated Dooku by cutting off his head. So they just kind of leave that vague for the children. Before the Jedi are able to complete their rescue mission, General Grievous and his bodyguard droids appear. Obi-Wan and Anakin fight bravely, but their battle is interrupted when the battleship starts to break apart. Grievous flees in an escape pod. These illustrations aren't bad. I mean, the ones that aren't of people. Grievous's illustration looks good because he doesn't really have a human face. With his amazing piloting skills, Anakin crash lands the badly damaged battleship on the planet Coruscant. Another happy landing. I'm not doing the accent, I'm sorry. Another happy landing, Obi-Wan declares with a smile. The Chancellor is saved. Look at Palpatine's face. There's Anakin and Padme. Padme only has lipstick on her top lip. Very interesting. Anakin's hair looks terrible in these illustrations. Like, he looks like he needs to condition the ends very badly. Anakin is soon reunited with his wife, Padme Amidala. She has wonderful news. She's going to have a baby. Anakin is happy, but he has terrible nightmares that something bad is going to happen to Padme. Oh wow, they skip a lot of stuff, okay? Because we go right from Padme is pregnant to, meanwhile, the war is escalating throughout the galaxy. Jedi Master Yoda speeds to the planet Kashyyyk? Is that how you say that? Was it Kashyyyk? Because there are 3 Ys, and I don't know what to do with that. Yoda speeds to the planet Kashyyyk to help the Wookiees battle the Separatist droid army. He fights alongside a Wookiee named Chewbacca. So we had the illustration of Yoda and the Wookiees and Chewbacca. The Wookiees in the background look good, but Chewbacca's arms look like Gumby arms. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh god, there's me doing the accent a little bit. I shouldn't do that. It's not gonna be right. Obi-Wan Kenobi travels to the planet Utapau. Is that how you pronounced it? It's not even that long ago that I rewatched Revenge of the Sith. I rewatched it after I finished watching the Obi-Wan show. Utapau, I think was the name of the planet. Obi-Wan Kenobi travels to the planet Utapau to capture General Grievous, riding a lizard-like creature called a Varactyl? Whatever. Obi-Wan leads a Republic clone army to stop the evil droid commander. The illustration of the lizard-like creature is pretty good. Obi-Wan looks ridiculous. The stormtroopers look okay. See, now I'm just critiquing the illustration as opposed to the plot, but I think that's because they've been very light on the plot of the movie so far. They skipped a lot of stuff, which really does not bode well for Revenge of the Sith, that like a large chunk of the movie can kind of just be like cut out and then you follow just the main plot line and it makes sense. Grievous surprises Obi-Wan with 4 twirling lightsabers. During the furious fight, the Jedi is disarmed, but Obi-Wan uses the Force to grab a blaster. Zap! He destroys the cruel droid commander. So, we had Dooku being defeated, Grievous being destroyed, but no real explanation of what that means. I'm like real excited to see how they portray Order 66 because, you know, that's the fact that all the Jedi are dead is kind of an important part of the story overall. And I want to know how they're going to explain that to children. Like, how are they going to portray that in such a way that kids aren't going to turn to their parents and be like, Mommy, what does becoming one with the Force mean? And then they have to be like, well, Junior, do you remember that goldfish you had that we found floating at the top of the tank? Back on Coruscant, Chancellor Palpatine tells Anakin a terrible secret. Palpatine is really Darth Sidious, the evil Sith Lord. He is the true leader of the Separatist army and the mastermind behind the attacks on the Republic. We have the beautiful illustration. Anakin prepares to capture Darth Sidious until the villain promises to teach the young Jedi how to keep Padme safe and sound. They don't even say how to keep Padme alive. They're just like, safe and sound. I'm surprised they didn't say how to keep Padme snug as a bug in a rug. Okay. The leader of the Jedi Council, Mace Windu tries to arrest Darth Sidious. But Anakin stops the Jedi Master. He wants to learn how to save Padme. The Sith Lord sends Mace Windu crashing through a window. We don't get an illustration of it, but I think that's the most outwardly violent thing that they have mentioned. Anakin kneels before his new master, and we see that Palpatine now has, like, the creepy, gross Sidious face, but there's no explanation of how he got that way. I guess they're just expecting that children aren't gonna question it. You shall be known as Darth Vader, Darth Sidious tells his new apprentice. Darth Vader is sent off on his first wicked mission: to destroy the Jedi and their temple. Darth Sidious gives a secret command. All across the galaxy, his loyal clone army begins to destroy the remaining Jedi. Okay, so it's destroy. All right. I feel like children might ask what that means. I mean, it couldn't really mean too many different things. To destroy something or someone. On Kashyyyk, clone troopers turn on Yoda. He fights back and flees in an escape pod. Obi-Wan barely gets away from his clone attackers on Utapau. He reunites with Yoda. Darth Sidious goes before the Senate. He declares that the Republic will now be the first galactic empire. He will be its one and only leader for life. The Emperor Palpatine. All right, so then in the next page, it's the start of the fight on Mustafar. So we don't get the Order 66 in the temple. Like, the only thing we got indicating that was this illustration here. So obviously they don't address Anakin killing the younglings, but like, do I wish they had? Do I wish that they had somehow addressed Anakin killing the younglings? I don't know, because while that would entertain me, it might scar some children for life. So, you know. I also just realized that earlier the book said Padme is having a baby. Padme is, yes, she's going to have a baby. They don't say that she and Anakin are going to have a baby. She's going to have a baby. So there's not been any indication so far that Anakin is the father of the baby. We are just led to assume that. And then there's not the scene where Obi-Wan talks to Padme on Coruscant, basically kind of like tricks her into going after Anakin so he can stow away. We just go right to Mustafar. Obi-Wan knows Anakin has turned to evil and must be stopped. He stows away on Padme's ship as she flies to her husband. On the volcanic planet Mustafar, Padme sees what Anakin has become. "You're breaking my heart," Padme tells her husband. They included that line in the book. Obi-Wan and Darth, so they skip right over Anakin, like, using the Force to choke out his wife. Okay, we're right to the duel. Obi-Wan and Darth Vader begin a dangerous duel above rivers of flowing lava. Sparks fly as their lightsabers cross again and again. Finally, Obi-Wan strikes Anakin and sends him tumbling into the lava below. No mention that, Obi-Wan also, like, cut off all of his flesh limbs. "I hate you," Anakin cries. That always reminds me of the, is it a behind-the-scenes clip or a blooper? I don't know, with Hayden Christensen. If I can dig it up, I'll put it in here right now.
Oh, I hate you.
Also, all of the illustrations on this page just show the fight, even though on this page, Obi-Wan strikes Anakin down, and then on this page, theoretically, we should be having that moment aside of the lava where Anakin's, like, sliding down and he's trying to hold himself up with his robotic arm, but it's just more things of them fighting, even though that part's over. They're like, "Oh, we don't know how to depict this for children." Saddened that he had to destroy his friend, Obi-Wan leaves the planet with Padme. Yeah, he had to destroy his friend. What could children interpret that as? Across the galaxy, Yoda confronts the Emperor. The Jedi Master and the Sith Lord begin an epic battle between light and dark sides of the Force. But the Emperor's evil attack is too great, even for mighty Yoda. Defeated, the tiny Jedi escapes and goes into hiding on the swamp planet Dagobah. And now I think the next page is going to be my favorite part of the book. Padme gives birth to 2 babies, a boy and a girl. Before perishing from a broken heart, she names them Luke and Leia. Before perishing from a broken heart. Before perishing from a broken heart. Wow. So first of all, I hate that concept. In any format of Revenge of the Sith, I hate the dying from a broken heart thing. And I have like a really old previous video where I talked about how they could have made one teeny tiny change that would have made Padme's death less annoying, that it would have made her feel like a stronger character at the end rather than she's just dying and we don't know why. I have heard that I don't know if George Lucas has said it or if it's been inferred that Padme died because Palpatine was like siphoning her life force from across the galaxy to kind of not resurrect Anakin because he wasn't dead, but to like feed into Anakin as he was turned into the kind of robotic form of Darth Vader. So I've heard that, but that is something that was not like explicit within the original format of the movie. So I just, the dying from a broken heart thing is just stupid. But then also they do, I mean, before perishing from a broken heart, like they had to mention she died, even though this is a book for children, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. And also, now I'm going on another little tangent, but George Lucas has repeatedly insisted that Star Wars is for children, that these movies are for children. And if in this book, for actual children, they are having to jump over so much of the plot, if they're having to phrase things in kind of like this really vague way, what does that say about George's claim that these stories are for children? What age group is he targeting? Because I mean, these books are for very young children, so this is for ages 2 to 5. So maybe George is thinking by children like it's for 10-year-olds. But, but still, it's just interesting. Look at the illustration of the babies. Look at their hair. You can tell which one is Leia because the baby, the newborn infant, has girlish eyelashes. Of course. A senator named Organa agrees to take Leia to Alderaan. He and his wife will raise the girl as their own. Whoa! We get a full page spread for this moment. Emperor Palpatine rescues the burned and battered Anakin from the lava. Medical droids encase him in a robotic suit to save his life. His scarred face is hidden behind a black helmet. He begins to breathe. Darth Vader lives. I want to say this illustration is beautiful. It's very well done. It's very dark. It's atmospheric. I like the aesthetic of it. I like the way it looks. All except for Palpatine's really goofy face. Here we go, last page. Obi-Wan brings baby Luke to the desert planet of Tatooine. Anakin's stepbrother, Owen Lars, will raise the child. But Obi-Wan will always watch... I'm laughing because I just glanced up the image and saw Obi-Wan's face. But Obi-Wan will always watch over him. The Jedi knows that when Luke is ready, he will bring a new hope to the galaxy. Look at Obi-Wan's face. What? He's got like crazy eyes. Crazy old Ben. And that's Revenge of the Sith. I like how on the back of the book it says Star Wars, a little golden book. The epic Star Wars space saga, finally retold in timeless little golden books. Finally, after all these years. This is what we've been waiting for. Read them all, you must. Yeah, so that was Revenge of the Sith. I mean, I shared my opinions during. It was a little funny. I mean, I was kind of hoping for more traumatic death and murder, but, you know, 2-year-olds are supposed to be reading this, so... Now it's time to see how Little Golden Books explains the dark side of the Force to literal children. And I can tell you, without even cracking the cover, that I am 98% certain that this book is going to disappoint me, because there is only a 2% chance that this book is going to start the way that I think it should start. Because I think it should start with like a little illustration of Darth Sidious directly addressing the reader and saying, "Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you." Like, he's interacting directly with the child, and like that is the entire framework of the book. And then after, like, then it goes into the story of, or the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise, and then like the little illustration of Sidious like introduces each of the subsequent Sith in a similar manner. And again, I am very certain, without even looking at this, that they did not do that. So I'm bound to be disappointed. Vader's got a really skinny neck on this cover. Okay, crack it open. I am a Sith. I am a master of evil. We are off to a very strong start. Sith are dark warriors who crave power. They spread fear and try to enslave all those around them. Look at these two guys looking at each other like, uh-oh. A Sith's evil power comes from the dark side of the Force, an energy field that has been twisted by anger and hate. Sith can use the dark side to attack their enemies and create lightning from their fingertips. The illustration here is from Attack of the Clones of Dooku using the Force on Obi-Wan. He appears to be choking him. Very violent. Also, so then the lightning on this page and then the illustration of Dooku from Attack of the Clones reminds me of how most of the times when we see Force lightning, or maybe just when we see Palpatine use it, he does like this with his hands, which I feel like that is the appropriate gesture. Like, you gotta be doing that when you got lightning coming out of your fingertips. But in Attack of the Clones, we see Dooku use Force lightning, and I got my hair in my face. He just holds his hand out flat like that, and that does not seem correct to me. So, you know. Every Sith has a lightsaber, a powerful laser sword that can cut through anything. Slash! Slash! The energy blade of a Sith lightsaber is always red. And these illustrations. I actually liked the illustration style from the other book more. I didn't check, but I mean, just from looking at it, I feel like they definitely had different illustrators. The Sith are masters of trickery and lies. Darth Sidious concocted a war to create his own clone army. He took control of the Galactic Republic and declared himself the Emperor. Sith are the sworn enemies of the Jedi Knights, guardians of peace. After the Clone Wars, the Sith sent out special agents, called Inquisitors, to find and eliminate every Jedi in the galaxy. I'm liking all of the euphemisms that they use for, like, death and murder and killing in all of these books. So here we've got eliminate. Also, at first, I'd kind of thought that they we're only going to have the Sith who were like explicitly shown in the movies. So Maul, Dooku, Vader, and Sidious. But they're showing Sith from some of the extended Star Wars media, things that I'm a little bit less familiar with, but I can vaguely recognize these characters as being characters who exist in media that is currently considered canon, but is not the movies. Throughout the ages, there have been many dark side warriors, but not all of them have been true Sith. Oh, that's interesting. Don't know who that guy is. I think that lady's from the Clone Wars cartoon. I could try to pronounce her name, but like I've never heard it said because I never watched the cartoon. I've only seen it like written. And then it's Kylo Ren. So I guess he's not a Sith. I didn't really ever think about that, whether or not he is a Sith. I feel like that's a thought exercise that should have been presented in the actual movies, because that's kind of interesting. Is he a Sith? But they didn't really present that concept. There can only be two Sith at one time. A master and an apprentice. One to embody power and the other to crave it. That's interesting writing for a book that's for children. Is this one also for 2 to 5 year olds? I'll have to check that because that's actually kind of a good line. Darth Maul was the first apprentice to Darth Sidious. Piloting his Sith interceptor, Darth Maul traveled throughout the galaxy to do his master's evil bidding. It's a job with just a lot of travel. You know, you're always on the road. After Darth Maul was defeated, a Jedi named Count Dooku took his place as the Sith apprentice. Dooku embraced the dark side and became Darth Tyrannus. He helped his master, Darth Sidious, rise to power by building the Separatist army and declaring war on the Republic. But Darth Sidious's most powerful Sith apprentice by light years was Darth Vader. With Vader by his side, Darth Sidious formed the Galactic Empire and took control of the galaxy. We got these beautifully illustrated pages. Lovely, lots of detail. We're running out of book. Darth Vader was once a Jedi Knight named Anakin Skywalker. Darth Sidious preyed upon Anakin's fears with lies and tricked him into joining the dark side. Anakin betrayed his master, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the entire Jedi Order. So here's another illustration of the fight on Mustafar. It looks a little ridiculous. This illustrator, I think, has a more difficult time drawing hands than the other illustrator. I mean, still very talented, still very good work. I just noticed these things because I'm a hypercritical person. Darth Vader escaped the evil clutches of the dark side. He was redeemed when he saved his son, Luke Skywalker, from Darth Sidious. And then we got the shot of Vader lifting Sidious over his head while Sidious is just shooting out lightning everywhere. One page. Vader destroyed the Emperor and brought peace to the galaxy. The dark side of the Force was gone forever. Or was it? Why are you ending this on a cliffhanger? That's weird. I mean, I guess this is supposed to represent, like, that's the weird melted Vader helmet that we see in the sequel trilogy. So maybe it's kind of referencing Kylo Ren. But Kylo Ren was shown in one of the earlier pages as a dark side warrior who was not a Sith. So I don't know. I don't know what they were going for. Cliffhanger ending for children. Wait a minute. I just realized that they never actually included the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise in this book. This is incomplete. This is incomplete storytelling. I think they could have left out the page about Vader's redemption or the weird cliffhanger ending or something and included a page about the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. I feel ripped off. I feel like I wasted my money. Well, we all learned something here today, and now I will be passing this knowledge on to two younglings. And it occurs to me that I probably should have gotten the other two prequel books just to make this look like a gift that makes sense, but I didn't. By the way, everyone always makes fun of Anakin's line in Attack of the Clones about how he doesn't like sand, but I mean, he's very blasé about it. He lists a few very accurate negative qualities of sand, and I have kind of realized that I actually hate sand more than Anakin Skywalker because he just didn't like sand. And it makes a lot of sense because he was held as a slave on a sand planet. So, like, you know, you can see how he would make the mental association between, like, hey, the time I was a slave and my mom was a slave and sand. Whereas I just don't like sand. I don't like walking on it. It feels hot and sharp. And if you try to walk on it with shoes, it gets all in your shoes and your feet slide around and you don't have good traction. And I mean, Anakin was right that it gets everywhere. Sand is basically like the loose glitter of the earth, and that is the way that I feel about it. So I am not wearing this shirt. Ironically, these are my true feelings.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you,